Hello, my dear students. In this PowerPoint presentation session, we will be discussing the last session of the poem "The Unknown Citizen," a beautiful poem written by W.H. Auden. In the previous sessions, dear students, we had discussion about the poet, and also we have come to know the different works written by W.H. Auden and his life and his achievements. And also we had discussion about introduction to the poem, and also we came to know who was unknown citizen and what kind of life he had led, and was he happy, and how many children he had, in which company he worked, and how he was faithful to the government. So these are all the things we have already discussed in the poem in the previous sessions of this poem. And this is the last session we will be discussing about the poem. The following are the contents. We'll have discussion in the further slides. We'll discuss about the critical appreciation of the poem, and also more information about the poet, that is W.H. Auden, and also important annotations lines, because annotations are very important for your examination purpose. You will be having four annotations, and you will be having choices. So have written some important lines which may be asked in the examination of your of this semester. And also we will have discussion about the session summary, and at last, as usual, you will have references from which source I have taken all these informations to prepare this PPT presentation. Dear students, critical appreciation of the poem. So, whatever the poem we read, being the students of English language, or being the student of English literature, we should have some critical appreciation after listening to the poem, or after understanding the concept of the poem. So, the following points I have mentioned here to explain the critical appreciation of the poem. The poem satirizes the modern society, which is devoid of religion and all other values of life. So, this is a satirical poem on modern society, because in the poem Unknown Citizen, we have seen that how the citizen led such a happy life, and how he was obedient to the government, and in what way he had led, because he used to buy newspaper, he had car, he had five children. So all these things are very nice example for the modern society. So this poem deliberately satirizes the modern society, and which is devoid of religion and all other values of life. So devoid of religion and all other values of life. So in this poem we could see some devoid of religion and some values of life. The modern society is committed to materialism. So materialism means, what is the meaning of what is the meaning of the word materialism? Materialism is nothing but giving much importance for money. One A person who gives much importance, so he's called materialistic person. So people, they give much importance for money, so that is called materialism, which makes the modern man unhappy. So when a person is going behind money, he starts losing his happiness, and he starts losing his peace of mind. So completely he becomes materialistic man. So Auden feels that both the society and the individual are to be blamed for the corruption that exists in the society. Corruption, what we see in the present society. So this was practiced from the earlier age, when Auden was when Auden was living in the society. He was witnessed. He could witness that kind of corruption in the government, in all kinds of government. So he says he feels that both society and individual are to be blamed. So for the highest that corruption which was going on in the society, for that corruption, both society and individual, both society and the citizens who are living in that society, so both should be blamed according to Arden's opinion. The unknown citizen's name is signified by number JS7M3, JS bar 7, bar M bar 378. This is a code which has been given by Auden to the unknown citizen. It is signified by a number. Our age is an age of statistics, and every problem is analyzed by collecting information from various sources. So, this is one of the points what I have mentioned for the critical appreciation of the poem. Our age is an age of statistics. Everything should be calculated and everything should be maintained as statistics, and every problem is analyzed by collecting information from various sources. And also, uh, for problems, we could find our own solutions in our own way. And he stands for the modern man. He refers to the unknown citizen, and he stands for the modern man who has lost independent thinking and has become a cog in the machine of society. In the above slides, dear students, we have discussed about critical appreciation for the poem The Unknown Citizen by W.H. Auden. So I will be repeating the name of the poet W.H. Auden because it will be useful at the time of your examination when you are supposed to write some answers to some annotations in the examination. And in this slide, we will be discussing more information about the poet W.H. Auden. So he was born in York, England on 21st February 1907. So in the first session of this poem, in the first PPT session of this poem, we had a very little information about the poet. And in this PPT presentation, we are having some elaboration about the poet. And he was born in England, York, on 21st February. As a young man, he was influenced by the poetry of Thomas Hardy. So, this has to be noted, my dear students. W.H. Auden was quite influenced by Thomas Hardy, who was one of the greatest novelists of English literature, and also from Robert Frost. Robert Frost is also one of the notable and popular English poets, uh, as well as William Blake and Jim Hopkins. So these poets have influenced on W.H. Auden, and he has taken most of the themes after studying these poets to his poetry, and has adopted most of the themes after studying these poets of English literature. And Auden visited Germany, Iceland and China, served in the Spanish Civil War. He also served as a soldier in the Spanish Civil War, and in 1939 moved to the United States, where he met his lover Chester Kalman and became an American citizen. So in the beginning session of this PPT, in the first PPT session, I had told you W.H. Auden is an English American poet, because after his marriage, he went to America and he got settled there. He obtained American citizenship. In the next slide, I have taken some important lines from the poem, which are very important for annotations. He was found by the Bureau of Statistics to be one against whom there was no official complaint. These two lines are very important in the view of examination purpose. He worked in a factory and never got fired, but satisfied his employees' Forge motor insurance. And it was and here and how do you start your annotation answer? So you have to start your annotation answer. First, you will have to mention the poet's name, and afterwards you will have to first you will have to write the poem name, and afterwards you have to write the poet who has written that particular poem. So you can start your annotations like this. The above lines have been taken from the poem so and so. You have to write the poem's name. So uh, for example, the above lines have been taken from the poem The Unknown Citizen, written by one of the famous English American poets, W.H. Auden. So, how to start the annotations like this. And the last annotation lines, third annotation important line, that is policies taken out in his name prove that he was fully insured, and his health card shows he was once in hospital but left it cured. The last line are Was he free? Was he happy? The question is absurd. So this is one of the most important lines to be remembered for the purpose of your examination. Uh, and at last, we'll discuss the session summary. The poem "Unknown Citizen" was written by W.H. Auden in 1939, shortly after he emigrated to the United States in 1939. The speaker states that the dead man was an exemplary citizen because he did everything correctly according to the government. No one ever made a complaint about him. He worked at the same job for all of his life and owned all of the right things. He did everything correctly in order to serve his society and lived a perfect life. So these are all the things what we have discussed so far in this PPT sessions. And for your references, I have taken the above informations from your textbook Respondents Board of Editors approved by the Board of Studies in English from University of Mysore. Also, I have collected information from www.studymartyr.com and also from www.podman.com. So thank you so much, my dear students, for watching this PPT. Thank you so much.